Well, without a doubt, the Shopsmith has come a long, long ways from our Reeves Drive speed dial and now into a Generation 2 Power Pro control pad. Well, hello again. This is a follow-up on the little teaser video I posted a couple days ago on the Gen 2 control pad panel, whatever you want to call it. Mostly I'm doing this for some guys that asked me to give them a little bit more information, which I'm happy to do. This is an upgrade you want to take a hard look at. For the people who have not yet converted to a Power Pro at all, still got the conventional headstock, you definitely want to look at this as well. One of the questions, two of the questions actually, is it worth it and is it better? Two simple answers, yes and yes. There's actually a third question too. Folks were asking me how difficult was it to actually, make the upgrade itself. And I'm not going to go into every specific thing that you need to do to convert it. I noticed Jim McCann has his video up there that shows you each and every step that you're going to need to do to make the conversion. All right, all I'm going to show you here today is just an overview. All right, I'll give you some ideas of what I ran into and something you might want to watch out for too when you're considering converting it, or you actually have bought the control panel already and are about ready to convert. All right, so again, it all started with them delivering the thing to me several weeks ago actually, and I took I guess my time getting to it. I was, number one, excited about having it. I was not excited about having to go through the procedures to make the conversion. So like I told you in the earlier video, UPS dropped the box off. That's the box right there. Not a lot of weight to it, just a control panel in there and the new quill arm pinion in there. I did, like I mentioned earlier, make sure everything that I was supposed to get was in the box. It was there. That's nice. I showed you the control panel right out of that first video. Remember to peel that film off there, by the way. And then I just started doing what needed to be done. You got to gut your entire headstock. Starts by removing the motor. Not difficult at all. You'll find out in a hurry how well this thing's put together if you've never been inside one. I've always loved the motor mounts that we use for that VR motor. But like I say, you're completely gutting the headstock to get to the control panel and to be able to put the new control panel in. You're working, like I say, with an empty headstock. Here's mine pretty much gutted right there. And I did everything on a workbench. I think Jim McCann mentions having a good solid surface to work off of, which I did. Really, after it's gutted, the last thing you remove is the old control panel. That's held on there with just 2 screws, believe it or not, on the back side. And you do have to, as far as if you already have a Power Pro, a little bit of machining as far as drilling a couple holes, a 1/2-inch hole and a 7/16 hole for your thermal protector and your electrical protector. That's what those look like once they're installed. Thermal overload protector and your electrical surge. Got a lot of sharp edges on this thing, so first thing I know is I was getting cut up, so protect yourselves. That's important. So during my conversion, I actually used Jim's video and the instructional manual that comes with the upgrade. By going between both of those, the video and the manual, it was pretty straightforward. Difficulties? The hardest part was removing the wedge locks and then putting the wedge locks back in. That gave me fits. I don't know why. Jim makes it look real simple on the video, but I had a hell of a time just getting it in position finally. And then, believe it or not, getting the pin for the handle back in there too, getting that lined up just right. Ended up actually having to drill it out a little bit. But that was the most difficult part. I took my time, and I was really wondering if I'd gotten all set up right. Real quick, as far as wiring, there's only 4 little wires that are new inside this one. They connect like the thermal heat protector and the fuse overload, the electrical overload, to different components inside the control panel and all that stuff. But like I say, if you take your time, you can do it. I mentioned earlier, in the previous video at least, that this thing is way larger, as you can see. Let me position my camera here so you can get a better look here. Oops, sorry you guys. And it is way brighter, without a doubt. Hang on, let me get this set right. Watch what happens when I hit this switch. Look at how bright that is. Takes about, again, 10, 11 seconds for it to run through its messages and what have you. A little louder sound too, by the way, you can hear that. And there's the home screen. The home screen, can you see that good? Let me see if I can zoom in here. Whoop. A little bit more. Done by pictures. Pretty unique, huh? I like the idea of the quick start too. The quick start gives you, let me go to quick start. You got 8 preset speeds this time. I think we only had 4 on the Gen 1. These are things you're going to use the most of, okay? I got a back button here. Takes me back to the home screen. I especially like the settings over here. That's where you can set a password, which mine is password protected. It's also set up so if you forget your password, there's a 7467, I think it is. That's the override password. If you have trouble remember 7467, take a look at your phone. Transfer those numbers, 7467, to letters. It spells out S-H-O-P. Clever, huh? But the motor parameters are kind of interesting. The one that's most important is this one right here. Now that's where your heat overload button that you attached, or mechanism, actually is tracking the temperature of the inside of this thing. It's in Celsius, by the way. And I ran this thing at 1500 RPM for about 30 minutes, and it doesn't get that hot. Not in 30 minutes at least. In fact, I just shut it off. It's at 27 Celsius now, so that's probably less than 110, 115 Fahrenheit. At 60 Celsius, that's 140 Fahrenheit, you're getting warm. At 70 Celsius, it's 158 Fahrenheit. This thing will slow down for you gradually, and then it shuts itself down so it can cool. So that's kind of a neat thing too. There's your password. You can set your password wherever you want. You just plug it in, hit confirm, and you're ready to go and run again. You got pictures here, so if I want bandsaw, there's the bandsaw. It's going to ask you what size blade, so let's go 1/4 inch. I'm going to hit hardwood. It sets your speed for you. If I hit on, she runs. Now, a little bit different also from the previous Gen 1 control pad, where you could, control your speeds or add speed or take speeds down 1 RPM increments. That was a little too much. Every time you hit up or down here, it'll go up 10 RPMs. You can hear it. I like that a lot. The screen feels just like my iPhone. It's really smooth, very hard to scratch, I'm told. Something like that Gorilla Glass they use on iPhone with a ceramic cover. And I don't think it's quite that, but it's pretty close. I like that a lot. You do have presets too, by the way. If you do a lot of the same operations using the same speeds, I'm going back to the bandsaw here. Let me run this. If I want to save that, I can do that by simply hitting this star button. Can you see that star button all right? If I go here, it says, add the current selection to my favorites. Do you want to continue? I go, yes, confirm. Now it's in my favorites. How do I know that? Go back, back. Where's my favorites? Favorites. Right there it is. It saved it. So I can hit that. We're ready to go. So there's a really brief look at the control pad Gen 2. A little bit more info than the teaser one. I like it. I like it a lot. It's easy to see, way easier to see. It's brighter, obviously you saw that. It's got features that the old one didn't have. I don't know of another power tool that is always constantly checking not only your RPM, your torque. Now it's making sure you're always protected with that thermal heat protector in there. The electrical surge unit that's in here. I mean, you got a lightning strike, an electrical surge or something like that. You're protected. That's pretty impressive stuff. This was, by the way, I was told by Jim, 3 years in the making. So they didn't just slap this together and hope everybody's going to love it and buy it and what have you. It's been tested and checked and rechecked. It's pretty nice. So I hope I made it a little bit clearer how the Gen 2 works. Hope I get you excited about it too. If you want to get one, get a hold of me. So for now, I'm Mike Young, and this is today's Shopsmith.